Alright, this one's going to be filmed in a couple of different parts, but I got some new lights down here. I've actually had them for a little bit, I just haven't set them up anywhere. So we got a Govee Lyra over here. They actually had it on sale plus a coupon, so it was like $100. Figure for that it's worth it. Probably going to keep it over here for the gym. We'll see. I like that it's got like the music reactive modes and stuff. So I figured it'd be good down here for the workouts. And then over here, I went ahead and installed my Govee Glide. So that's going down the stairs. So that'd be pretty cool, like for movie day or whatever. It's a neat little effect to light up the stairs. Like I said, you know, it's gonna be behind the curtain for the most part, but it'd be good for the entryway. But the main reason I am recording this video is because I wanted to capture my first run of REW. So I downloaded that a bit ago. I actually have, I don't know if you caught it during the pan, I got a UMake 1 and an Amazon Basics stand, microphone stand, which actually is a pretty nice stand for the money. But we're going to start capturing those measurements I was talking about. I mean, come on, I'm using REW and a UMake 1, I'm practically a pro. So, let's see, I've seen this done a couple of times, right? Shouldn't be all that hard. Check levels, I guess. Everything looked like it was green. Alrighty, so I believe the defaults are fine. I'll do this in more detail in a minute, but I just want to get a test run. I've never actually measured these speakers, so this will be interesting. And that's all over the place. So I had to do some tinkering and see what, if anything, I did wrong. I'm assuming I also need to do one speaker at a time. But yep, that was my very first run. Because I'm going to play with it a bit and report back when they actually have some findings. See you in a bit. So another quick update. I figured out, first off, I was only going up to 200 hertz. So I had to fix that. So I went to 20 kilohertz. And then I was like, well, this doesn't look like any of the measurements I've ever seen. What's going on there? So I pulled up Audioholics, because they had a thing about running REW. Just the first search result that came up, surprisingly enough. And I don't have smoothing turned on. So I think I did 1/8, and that looks a lot better. So that's how that works. So in case you've ever run one of these and thought it looked weird, I don't remember anybody ever showing me to turn on smoothing. They probably did, I just wasn't really paying that much attention. The other thing that looked weird initially was I had this SPO plus phase on, which is why this other squiggle came from. If you look actually back at this original measurement here. So that's that. So I'll just go to all SPL, which I did remember after I thought about it for a minute. So yeah, that is my 20 to 20 kilohertz sweep. Actually, it doesn't look horrible. I definitely got a bump down here at the low end, but it's actually fairly smooth overall. So I'm gonna tinker some more and get a couple more measurements for reference, and we'll go from there. So another thing that I did is I moved the microphone over. I realized it wasn't really centered before, but it should be pretty good. Close enough anyway. And I reran it. It's like, why are my levels all of a sudden so much slower? I forgot I turned everything down so I could watch that video. But at least this tells me that across the different volumes, it's still pretty consistent. And you know what? I bet you more than anything, this bump down here is probably the HVAC. I'm gonna have to turn that off before I start taking some serious measurements. But I bet you more than anything that's what that is. But yeah, it seems to be working. So I will capture a few more, and then probably today or tomorrow I can get that screen material turned on there and really get this place cooking. Alright, see you in a bit for more updates. Well, I thought this was interesting. And I may insert these as screenshots. I'll have to see how the video looks. But that's my final measurement there on the bottom, that orangey thick one. The difference between that one and the top one above it is I forgot to turn off my laptop processing. I have Waves Max audio, so I disabled that. And then I also had a plus 3 dB boost on the bass and the treble in the AVR. So I set those both to 0. So that should be my actual full-on bass line. Go ahead and actually turn that guy off. So yeah, that one right there is my response in this room with the SR9300. That's really the last measurement I need with this setup. I'm gonna go ahead and swap out to the AV7706, make that the main amplifier, and hook up all the interconnects. And really, the only other difference is going to be I'm going to leave the microphone and the speaker in the exact same position, but the amplifier, the 9300, doesn't actually have HDMI in. It's actually outside of wanting to go to Atmos. That's the main reason I'm switching to the other processor, is to get HDMI in. It predates it, only has component. So I'm going actually optical out. This laptop is actually cool enough and old enough, it actually has an 1/8 inch optical cable connection. I figured that was my next best bet. So I'm going to swap out from optical to HDMI. And otherwise, everything else should be the same. We'll see how they compare. And then once I have that measurement, that's really the last one I need before I can put the screen material up. The only other thing I might do, and I guess I can do this after the screen material is up too, it doesn't really matter, is I was going to, actually I should do it after the screen material goes up. I want to measure directly in front of the speaker, and then I want to measure at my listening position to see what the differences are. And then I want to run Odyssey, because I assume they're going to be different, you know, because one should more or less mitigate the room response. But then I'm going to run Odyssey and see how close it can get me back to the directly in front of speaker measurement. But I really need the screen material up to do that for it to be an apples to apples comparison. So I'm going to go connect up some cables, and then I'll have a shot of that. And you'll probably see a screen in this video. Talk to you later. Alright, one more quick update before I probably call it a day. I went ahead and hooked up the new amp and all that stuff. I ran another test, and that is the difference between them. I'm honestly surprised it's as different as it is. First off, it was clipping, so I had to lower the volume quite a bit, so it doesn't seem like it's playing at the same level. Got it to not clip, but the graphs are very different. Anyway, this is just more of a fun experiment, so I don't really care that it's that off. Definitely not super happy with the way things are sounding right now. Not really sure what's up. I mean, I know the acoustics in here aren't great. I'm going to be correcting some of that. I don't know, it seems kind of off. I know it's definitely not level matched. I definitely need to do my level, some distances. Just didn't really think that was going to make that much of a difference. And I haven't really done a whole lot of content, just a couple of the DTS and Atmos demo discs. It just, I don't know, it seems not as good as I remember at my old setup when it was just the 7.1. But it just goes to show you dialing things in can make a huge difference. I did have to set up a little monitor over here so I could actually see what I'm doing, since I, for some reason, can't seem to get the AVR remote to work. I worked at my old house as far as, the cell phone app, but for some reason it wouldn't connect here. I don't know if it's because it's wired versus wireless now. I'll have to play around with that. And I haven't set up my IR blaster yet, so the wired remote doesn't work. Or excuse me, the infrared remote that it came with doesn't work through the wall on the other side. So I'm trying to come over here so I can at least double check my inputs and outputs and things like that. But yep, this is the wiring currently. It is going to be cleaned up and cable tied and all that. But there are the XLRs, and there is the RCAs, and it's a whole big rat's nest at the moment. But I'll fix it. But yeah, that's the update for now. I'm gonna go put the rig down and then spend some time with the family, because I've been at this all night and the results are not making me encouraged, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I know what I'm doing. Just a matter of dialing things in, getting some panels on the wall, you know, things like that. So I'll keep you posted. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't sound bad. It's just not great, but we'll fix it. I got confidence in that. I will probably throw the carpet segment here at the end, and then I'll close this video off. See you in a bit. Well, it's now the next morning. We went out and did some shopping. I'm gonna go out and get some food and stuff today, but we got a new entry table, so that was an adventure. Went to Pottery Barn, which I thought was Old Town Pottery in my head. So when I went there and it ended up being this like high-end furniture store, I was a little surprised. So that was just more of a fun walkthrough, nothing of real interest there. But in any event, had some sleep, feel a little bit better, and the rug is down. So it goes just under the screen, which is cool. It fills the vertical space about how I expected. And then it does go behind the couch just a little bit, which is fine. I'm not really ever gonna see it back here. But so there's that. And then it does make the room sound a little less echoey for sure. It's definitely more comfortable on the feet. Also, kind of a bonus update. Proof of concept on the curtains. I'm not going to put the rest of them up necessarily until I get the screen up, which is definitely going to be today, unless something weird happens at the house. But I'm going to get some breakfast, going to try to do the screen, take measurements actually right before I do that, now that the carpet is down, and then right after that, so I can have a comparison, and then I can put up the curtains, which I should also be able to do today. Because while I only have to do panels on the wall, spent some time this morning and I put up all of the rod. So we got rod going from just behind the screen there all the way around, got an angle bracket there, so it's all one continuous thing, going across the projector path, although I'll have curtains stop on left and right. I thought about going all the way across and just, you know, cutting the projector, cutting the top of the curtains. But I don't necessarily know that I want to do that. And then since I'm putting the big foam panels on the wall, I figure just having the dark gray stripe kind of in the middle with the curtains on either side should look pretty good. So I'm going to stop the curtains to the left of the projector, restart them to the right of the projector. They go right to the air duct here. So that'll be, you know, kind of like right in line with the bath. And then I have a separate line from here. Well, the curtains aren't going to go quite this far back, but this is the closest place I get to support. Got the rod going right between the two ducts, which, let me tell you, was a real pain in the butt. And I actually screwed up with two of these. I couldn't get the pole through the vent where they had them, but fortunately I was able to just spin it around 180 and just relocate one screw, and everything was cool. So it's up there. The curtains should fit right on it. It might be a little bunched up, we'll have to see, but it's the best we're gonna be able to get. So it comes all the way down, past the screen, and all the way to the back wall. So we'll probably have 3 panels here behind the screen, so I can get behind there but it's not visible, and then we'll have a bunch of panels here. The panels obviously can't traverse the brackets, Here's the interconnect because it's such a long run. So, you know, I'll have, you know, a couple panels here so I could easily open the door. And then the rest of this will just be pretty much closed all the time. So that's that. The rug is definitely cute. It definitely makes it sound better. Again, I haven't run any demos. I've just run a couple audio tracks, and I'm a lot happier with how it's going. So I could have just been overtired yesterday too, but it's definitely coming together. It should be functional by the end of the night, hopefully. Well, day, because I gotta go to bed at like 2 in the afternoon because I work tonight. But yeah, so we should, in theory, have curtains and screen by the end of my day today. And then it's just a matter of fine-tuning the projector as far as, you know, its zoom and all that stuff. And then I can figure out the back wall, and then I could put the foam panels on that. And that's probably where it's gonna sit for a minute, because I'm gonna have to go back to Lowe's or Home Depot, one of the two, to get some strips, some thin like wood strips, because I don't necessarily want to glue the foam panels directly to the ceiling, because then I have to deal with a lot of residue and stuff when I do eventually move. Also, I'm not entirely sure how well the 1x1s are actually gonna. I think the 1x1s are actually gonna fit. I don't think they're actually gonna hit the wood in the right way, so I'm gonna need that to help keep them up there regardless. But that's gonna be, I don't even know when, as far as we can actually get to the store. Our EcoSport doesn't really, EcoSport doesn't really take full size sheets of lumber. It's not quite 8 feet. So I might have to go to the in-laws and borrow the van again, which the wife hates driving, so I'm not sure when the ceiling's gonna get done, but that's not necessary for me to enjoy the space. So that's the end of this video with the measurements and stuff, and then I'll probably have another video after that to show the final for now version with all the curtains and everything up, and probably some more measurements just to kind of see what the final space sounds like, probably pre and post Odyssey. And yeah, that's that for that. So then that'll probably be a break for a bit until I can get the other acoustic panels on the ceiling, which will be another video, and that'll probably be the end of the series. I got a few videos backlogged at this point, you know, so you'll be seeing this probably at least 2 weeks after I film it. And then I'm not sure once the next 2 are out, not the 2 I'm going to film after this. I'm not sure how long there's going to be between that and then any kind of update as far as really anything. But you know, as things change, I will inform you guys, and we'll go from there. And so thanks for joining me on the journey. Like I said, if you want to see more and to see the end, try to subscribe so you can get the notification, because I don't exactly have a consistent upload schedule, unfortunately. And I hope you will at least appreciate it, even though you won't be able to enjoy it quite as much as I do. Alright, thanks you. Have a good one.